Rudkowski of WeAreChange.org here in beautiful San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I'm joined by Sean Cruz, who's an entrepreneur and businessman. Now, in our previous video, I mentioned to you how there's a specific program here for U.S. citizens to start their businesses and not pay any federal income tax. Well, the truth is stranger than fiction, and obviously, especially when the government says something. Now, Sean started his business here. What did the program advertise itself to be?
Basically when I spoke to everyone, they basically said that, if you come to Puerto Rico, you don't have to pay any income tax on your income. And so I got excited about that, like anybody else would probably get excited in business, right? Yeah. And, I just kind of found out that it just wasn't the reality that I was anticipating. So there's some things I would like to share with you.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to pay federal income tax? Who wants to continue supporting all the military-industrial complex, medical-industrial complex, prison-industrial complex? And I could just keep going on and on. But Sean, what is the reality of this program? What happened to you starting your own business here?
Well, a couple of things. Number one is that, when you go to the banks, they don't even recognize, you got to sit hours to talk to someone. They really don't have a program for, people like me in business. We're kind of ignored, right? I mean, the process is just overwhelming. Just to even open a bank account is a challenge.
Yeah. Now, there's some stipulations, too, that they put on you if you are going to do this.
Yes, correct. One of the stipulations is that you can only get zero income tax on distribution income. And so, in the United States, right, if you have an LLC, every time that you go to dinner or you spend something, your accountant or your CPA can, deduct the tax. Here, it's a little unique, the process. And what I don't like is the pitfalls where they don't actually share the information with you. So you don't know. The only way you find all this information out is actually when it's time to file tax. And then you're like, whoa, what's this about, right? There's all kind of different stamps and papers and all kind of things that you need, and no one ever talks about it. You talk to an accountant or CPA, and they just kind of want your money, and they say, okay, we'll do this and that, but no one really talks about the truth in this, how Puerto Rico is operating their Act 22 and Act 20. Hey, listen, guys, I was approved for Act 20, Act 22, okay? And so I'm not just talking to someone that kind of viewed it from the outside looking in. I actually was approved in Puerto Rico, and so it's a challenge, Luke.
There's a lot of other stipulations saying that you have to hire 3 local people here. Is that true?
Yes, that is correct. If you have a business, a corporation, it is required by law with Act 20, Act 22, basically says that you have to hire 3 Puerto Rican employees, which is, that's a great thing for Puerto Rico. I think it's a great thing to employ others. But the reality is that it's a challenge the way they have it set up.
Yeah, because the other stipulations I heard is that you have to live here 6 months out of the year. You have to have your residency here. You have to start your business here. And that way you don't have to pay any taxes. But you have to do a lot more, obviously, correct?
Yes, correct. Well, the law says that you have to stay here 6 months and 1 day. And, it's a challenge with that because as an entrepreneur, what do we always want? We always want our lease agreements, we want our cars, we want our utility bills, everything in a corporation name. Well, here, if it's in a corporation name, there's no way to prove that that's you. Wow. And so now you're stuck with having to have everything in your personal name. And basically what it comes is the corporation really doesn't matter because you have to prove with the Puerto Rican government that everything is in your name, your lease agreement is in your name, where you live is where you live, and, Luke, it's a challenge. Yeah.
And is that even possible to do? And if so, how long is the process to do so?
Well, the process takes literally months, okay? And you fill out some papers, you get an accountant or a lawyer, fills out the papers, and it's a nightmare. It takes literally months. You have no idea what the process is. You're trying to follow up with someone in the office. The process is it's cumbersome.
Yeah. Now, obviously, if you've seen our previous video right before this one, you could see that there's a lot of problems here in Puerto Rico, not just with this specific program that the government keeps telling everybody about, but there's a lot of other problems here. What other kind of drawbacks did you see kind of in Puerto Rico in the current state that it's in right now to your business?
Well, first of all, rents. Okay, for a nice place, you want to rent a nice place, get a nice place. Okay, I was living in Houston, Texas, in a beautiful, an incredible condo. Had a great time in Las Vegas as well, literally early in my life. And listen, the expense here is about 50% more of the U.S. mainland. Wow. And for a place that in the United States is $2,500 to $2,800, you're going to spend $4,000 a month here for a high-rise condo. Okay, that's the first thing. Number 2 is the wait times. You can walk into a bank and want to talk to a banker. It's going to take you at least sometimes I've sat and waited an hour to talk to someone, and they go to lunch and they don't even tell you. So the wait time, there's a miscommunication here, and honestly, there's a lot of drawbacks as far as transportation. That's a difficulty, and then importing your car and bring your vehicle here is a nightmare. I mean, dude, it's something that before you move to Puerto Rico, there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah.
A lot of things to consider. So it's just not an easy process.
Was this official program worth it for you?
In the long run, initially it was worth it. But now I'm starting to really understand that maybe there's some things that I should have really personally took a look at. And I'm currently evaluating what my next steps are going to be. But right now, it's been worth it for me. But for a regular person that spends all this money for attorneys, I think there's going to be some challenges.
Now, Sean, you're a very successful businessman. What other tips and recommendations do you have for people starting their own businesses? And also, where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, sure. Well, you can find out more about me at the bottom of the video here. And, maybe we can post a link here. But the thing about business is, just stay committed. Just enjoy what you do. Stay committed. Stay focused. And don't listen to outsiders. If you have an idea, you have something that you're passionate about, just go for it with all your force and just make it happen.
Sean, thank you so much for all the incredible information. Obviously, truth is a lot stranger than fiction. We're here in Puerto Rico. If you like this video, found it informative, click the like button, and do not forget to subscribe. We're going to have a lot more videos coming your way here on youtube.com/WeAreChange.